second so I can follow you and get out of here?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. We can do that.
Yeah. All right.
We'll meet you at every corner.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn ready to roll.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. See y'all there. My name is Logan Locke. I'm doing segment 15, 141 miles over 5 days from Valparaiso, Indiana to Van Wert, Ohio. Since I've joined the MS Run the US organization in general, there's been so many people that I've met that have a very tight connection to MS, or even people that I know that I didn't know had MS. And now it's like this year for me is like my 2021 teammates, because a lot of them are very strong people who also have MS and completed their segments. So that's kind of like my no excuses and my why to do it. I think the most challenging part has been more of the mental aspect for me this year. And not as much as I anticipated, but if I had to say one thing, that would probably be it. Just because it was kind of like a short notice thing for me, and knowing that I'm going completely solo this year, whereas last year I had my mother-in-law here to kind of go as like my crew on the road, like actually feet on the ground, on the trails. I had that. So I think the biggest thing has kind of been not just adjusting my body this year, but also my mind to know that I'm seeing all 141 miles by myself on the road. One thing that I really take away from this is how much I value like being around family and friends and things like that, because when you're in such like a solo setting for a long period of time, when you're doing something really hard and your mind and body wants to break down, you want those people that you rely on. And so going back to that is a lot more special whenever when you feel like you've been through the ringer for 5 days straight. It makes it even more special to go home and see your family. I think two things that I'm gonna miss. One is the relationships you develop with the crew in like such a small amount of time. Like you walk in day one and you're completely strangers, and then by like day 3 they've seen the worst of you and the best of you. So like missing those relationships that you had and being in like such an intimate setting with somebody can like really boost a relationship really quick. And the other thing I would say is chasing the feeling of like doing something hard, like waking up every day and knowing like, all right, I'm gonna go out and run 31 miles today. And then, you know, to you, like that's the standard, that's what you're supposed to do. But then you have other people that are like, wow, dude, like that's crazy, like props to you, like you're doing, like, you know, the organization is awesome, you guys are amazing, whatever. And that's just kind of like that, you know, this is not like a normal thing. You know, this is an elite performance that all 19 runners are doing. And so I'm gonna miss waking up every morning and knowing that I have to do something hard, even though it sounds kind of crazy. I've had to do a lot of things on my own in my life, and so I've always been a person that I tell myself, like no matter how bad the situation is, even if it's not always totally true, I always say, I'm not gonna let myself fail. I know I'm not gonna let myself fail. And if there's a situation where it's a physical and mental aspect combined together, like I'm even more confident, just because I know that I'm going to do the training that it requires to get to that point, because I don't want to get there and completely blow up. I'm honestly really pleased by how my body's doing. Last year, like day 2 was really tough mentally and physically. So day 3 was really scary for me last year, and that was kind of like my big confidence booster. And this year it was kind of the same thing, but I pretty much came into day 3 just really confident in myself and telling myself that my body was going to be fine. And it somehow worked. So overall, I'm feeling really good, and I think that I've done really well, like maintaining stretching and foam rolling and just keeping my body healthy and hydrating as much as I can. Thanks to the crew, like constantly reminding me, you know, make sure you're drinking this, or you do want to foam roll even if I don't want to. So I'm very pleased with how my body's responded. I think my advice would be just get started. Like that's the hardest thing to do, is to get started. And a lot of times it's putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation that your body and your mind doesn't really recognize. And being able to make yourself lace up your shoes if it's a run, you lace up your shoes and just get out the door. Because once you take off, that's all the nerves are gone and all your doubtful thoughts are gone. That's the same thing with MS Run the US. Every night when you go to bed, you're a little bit anxious. You wake up, you're a little bit anxious, but as soon as your feet hit the pavement, you're good to go. Like coming into this and knowing that like one day on my Strava is like equivalent to like a week, what I've been doing the last month or so, it feels really good to be able to know that I can still push through something, even if I don't feel like, or other people might not feel like that I'm there. Like there were a lot of people that were like, are you trained enough? Like, do you think you're gonna be able to do it? And I think for me is like yeah, I'm gonna be able to do it, and I'm gonna do it, and I did it. So I think just knowing that I can push through not just my own doubt, but other people's doubt has been like a huge realization for me, and like really fires me up to want to do more stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Endorphins are high. You know, when you get to this point, you feel like you can just keep going, even though your body needs a break. But overall, it feels amazing to especially be a back-to-back finisher for such an awesome organization and just an awesome event. I would say and that's something I always tell myself anyway, just remember that finish line feeling. I think this year I came in a little bit anxious because I felt like maybe my physical training wasn't at the point that it was last year. But I knew at the end of the day I was not going to let myself fail or stop or not hit all 141 miles. So I would just tell myself to go back and remember what it feels like to cross the finish line and how fulfilled you feel at the very end.